Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be doing Hell INDURA. So I've farmed INDURA a lot recently because I'm basically just trying to farm it a lot and see what the rates truly are like and how many SA coins it is possible basically to farm, and all the other materials you get along the way, how many you get, is it realistic to farm it basically. So the team we are running, of course, is the best team to run for it, mainly because if you're not running this team, it's a lot harder and it's a lot more of a pain. There's a lot more RNG that's involved. With this team, not so much. Pretty brain dead activity. As long as you know the gimmicks, you know how to do them, you know how to deal with them, there's no problem. So, first person we have is Alpha. She's running HP defense. Calls LR King, HP defense. Lance, HP defense, and same as Beta. They're all running HP defense. For links, I've decided to give Mael to Alpha because you can't crit this boss. No matter how hard you try, no matter what your crit chances, you are not critting this boss. And Alpha will be your main DPS 99.9% of the time. So she's got Mael link. What does Mael's Grace do? It'll load. There is the Grace. Increase the hero's damage dealt by 20%. So basically it's 20% increased damage, which is really good. Of course, I have a lot of attack for HP defense. That is because I have an insanely high box CC and a constellation. So if your Alpha does not have this much attack, don't worry. My box is horrendously built, so that is the reason why. It's very high built. Carl said we are running increased allies base stats by 5%. That is not linked to any form of race or characteristic, which is really nice. And then also increase allies attack by 2% each time an allied 4 Knights character uses a skill to damage enemies. Lance is 4 Knights, so basically we play 3 Lance skills. Not only do we get a 5% basic stat boost, but we get an additional 6% attack boost. That is currently the second best card set you can run for this demonic beast. Oh, not demonic beast. This boss. The best one you can run is, of course, the specialist one for the INDURA, which increases your basic stats by percent as well as your attack-related stats by percent, depending on if you have a buff or not. For food, run attack food. I was running attack food. If you have enough CC to out CC the boss, run attack food. Of course, if you do not, that's okay. Just run CC food so you can out CC the boss. If you cannot out CC the boss, there's no point trying it. So for Lance, you can also run Roxy Link as well. I forgot to mention that you can also run Roxy Link. My Roxy's not 6'6", so I've just decided not to. Actually, I probably will just run Roxy now I think about it. I have the CC. I don't need to really stress too much about losing like a tiny bit of CC. I did lose a lot of CC when changing the card set. I lost about nearly 5k now. But yeah, we'll find an adequate teammate and we will defeat this boss then. Okay, here we are. So another tip as well, make sure you've got your emotes, so the emotes you can have, well, I'll show you mine. And make sure you have them that some are set for the INDURA, just so you can sort of notify your teammates you don't make a misplay, because sometimes making one misplay can completely destroy a run, especially on the second phase. So let me show you here. I've got all of these, which is like request attack, this one, I can't use cards, yay, good, and then the I laugh at you because you made a horrendous mistake. First phase, your teammates played one of those petrify skills. Playing a petrify skill will give you a buff called, I think, karmic something karmic, and it means that when it counters you, it will miss. If the counter lands, it lowers your all stats by 300%, and then the next counter will kill. As you see here, it's got this buff here, which basically means you've applied, there you go, the effect, which is pretty useful. You also see here, I moved and played the skill instead of playing 2 separate skills. Reason is, every time you play a skill, as you can see here, it gains and loses the buff every time. If you end with 5 skills, it doesn't actually. There you go. That was a 50% attack boost, and you can just get rid of it like that. Super easy. I'm going to sort of be a little bit conservative when it comes to my petrify skills, because you need them on the second phase as well, quite a bit. The reason you want Alpha, solely for that effect. That effect will apply 5 corrosions to you, which is about 50% your max HP, as well as not only will it remove a large amount of your HP, but it also lowers your damage dealt by 30%, which is a lot, especially on this demonic beast. Not demonic. I'm going to keep calling it demonic beast. I don't know why. When you see here, I apply it, it misses. Also, when it's removed from yourself, so it only lasts for 1 turn, your entire hand gets ranked up. You and your teammate's hand gets ranked up, which is decent, and it's actually pretty good. So sometimes what some people do is they may save it, they won't use it for the first turn, which is sometimes what I do, sometimes what you can do, which is a little bit higher risk, higher reward. You get upgrades quicker, and sometimes you can get through this phase a little bit quicker, sometimes a turn quicker. Sometimes if you get bad RNG, it'll just be the same amount of turns, but you just wasted one. You also now want them on the second phase, so this is the phase where if you pass this phase, phase 3 is easy. Phase 2 is definitely the stopping point. So he has this buff here, he'll gain one of these every turn. He has a skill, which doesn't actually scale off of any attack. It scales off just the amount of buffs he has. After the second turn, I'm not going to use it for the first turn because I don't need to, but after the second turn, he's going to have a lot, and I mean a lot of that. That skill's going to do, like, it can wipe your team. When it gets to about 3, it's going to wipe your entire team. Doesn't matter how well built, even like my team, I'm getting wiped, which is insane. Also, as you see, he's got damage reduction. He will lose a damage reduction stack every turn. So it's 20%, I believe, on Extreme it's 15% per damage reduction buff, and on Chaos it's 25% damage reduction per buff. He does lose one every turn, so it's not like the end of the world. It's just a little bit irritating. That's it, really. It's just a little bit irritating. But you can still go damaging. Thankfully, because Alpha's very Pierce-based, Pierce does very well against damage reduction as well as high defense, which is really good, especially for the final phase. Same with Lance. Lance and Alpha are both good because they both rely quite a bit on Pierce rate, which is good. It's always good for this boss to rely on Pierce rate. Pierce rate does a lot of damage to high damage reduction enemies. Okay, screw that then. Oh yeah, so he has that single target, which is really powerful. That's the AoE as well. He plays it every turn. Every turn. Yeah. Shows why you communicate. I've got to communicate that I was going to do it. They did it instead. But we should be fine. It is my teammate's skill. There we go. But you need LR King. If you do not have LR King, please do not play this game mode. And if you don't know how the boss works, do not play the boss. See, let's got that buff now. Which basically means only one tier of the effect will apply, regardless how many tiers it has. So this acts as like tiers of the buff. Yeah, there is. There's only one tier will count. The many others won't, which is good. If not, you can definitely tell the difference. Your HP bar goes to like 0 really quick. But if you do not understand how this boss works, do not play the boss, watch a guide on it, understand how it works, then play it. Because sometimes even your simple mistake, which you think isn't going to be a big problem, can completely screw up the run. Completely. And that can be sort of infuriating for someone who's trying to do the boss and understands how the boss works. Couldn't find my mouse then for a second. There we go, I'll cleanse up. I'll punch, and I'll do this. So as you see here, we don't have a fossilization, which is pretty bad. This phase can also give you oxidize. I think it can give you oxidize, or is that just chaos? I'm not too sure, but we'll find out here. Good damage. King should either kill or take it to nearly dead. Nearly dead, and then my alpha clutches up. So, if you do have quite a well-built box like myself, you can run attack crit alpha, or attack defense even, would actually be pretty good. But if not, HP defense is fine. I always run HP defense, and even on Chaos, I can hit damage cap with my 2/6 ultimate, which is pretty good. I'll do this, and then I think I just play this as well. I'm just trying to make use of Alpha's stacks. So, also, if you do not know how Alpha works, please learn how she works before you play this. I've had so many teammates who don't understand how they work. They keep spamming her skill, her single target, continuously. I know for the past 7 turns you've not only pulled Alpha skills, because it's kind of irritating. And the way she gains her buff is when an ally plays a single target skill that is not her. If it is her, it does not count. And whenever she plays a skill that has the flash cut effect, which is same as her ultimate and her single target, her non-debuff skill, it removes a stack, but it removes a stack after the damage has been dealt. Good damage. So on this boss, on Hell, when you get it below, I think 70-75%, it gets this defense-related stat boost, which is 50%, which is kind of insane. 50% defense-related stat boost is nuts. But thankfully, Pierce rate, once again, does really well against enemies who do have high defense stats. So also here you can play Petrify. Petrify still can be used here. It's not as useful, but you're mainly using it for the effect that it gives you 1 additional ult gauge. Your entire team gets 1 additional ult gauge when you play a Petrify skill. That applies after your turn has happened, and it cannot stack. Which is, it's okay. If it stacked, it would be quite broken. But we'll see here after our turn, we will get 1 ult gauge, unless it's only on Chaos, which it could be, because Chaos and Hell only have a few differences. Not too many, but just a few. and that is one of them. So when you get it below 40%, it gets a 50% HP related stat boost. That is the same between Chaos and Hell as well. No difference. So it's going to heal to about 40%, I believe. Yeah, nearly there. 30-40%. I have any cleanse skills, which is going to be a pain if he does the debuff, which I think he's going to do, because they have a debuff skill which disables ultimates as well as disables all your characters. Disable, there it is there. You'll see. I'll get the disable effect. Block skill effect. See, does my team have a cleanse? If he does, we can do this. He does! Okay, cool, perfect. And then, because I've got 2 stacks for alpha, I can just do this, and I'll just stop to request attack. And we should win. So, my only real problem with this boss is that I don't understand how you meant to do it solo. There is an achievement for doing Extreme Hell and Chaos solo. There's actually a title for doing Chaos solo 5 times. I personally don't think it's possible. You might be able to do Hell at a push, but you're not going to be able to do Chaos solo at the moment. As of this video, it's not possible. And my Alpha clutches up. Because Alpha's very good. It's the reason why I give her my L link. She deserves it. It's really good. Lance is decent, but he's not the best. But yeah, this boss is super easy. It can take a little while to farm it, but as long as you understand the gimmicks, you understand... that is horrendous luck. If you understand how the gimmicks work, how the fossilizations, the petrifies are really useful and how to use them, as well as just the general gimmicks about when you play an ultimate. I didn't actually mention this. When you play an ultimate, it removes the evade of which type it's evaded, because it evades range skills. Next turn will be close range skills, close range skills, so on and so forth. You play an ultimate, you completely remove that. That is the reason why you saw me playing ultimates pretty frequently and keeping them as well, just to make sure I can get rid of them when I need to. But anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.